have family waiting for me. Please, I can't die here. A beast of your depravity prattling on about family? How amusing. As though you could understand such a thing as love? You heartless monster! You are a monster too, General. You have just yet to realize it. A monster who thinks he's a man. Despicable. As a general, you must have killed countless souls without a shred of mercy. Do you still remember the sound of them begging, just as you're begging now? Or now that your life is at its end, will you hold to the lie that your hands are not stained red with blood? This is war. I did what I had to for the Empire, for the people, for my family. So, you are piling up corpses for the people and your family. And I am doing the same for the salvation of the dead. After all is said and done, we are both murderers, both stained, both monsters. You're wrong. Am I? I can smell the rotting flesh upon your hands even now, General. Enough! That's enough! I won't kill you right away, my fellow monster. Unless you object to watching your friends die. One by one. If so, I will do you the service of removing your eyes first, so that... Please! Please, forgive me. What is the meaning of this? The Dimitri you once knew is dead. All that remains is the repulsive, blood-stained monster you see before you. If you do not approve of what I have become, then kill me. If you insist that you cannot, then I will continue to use you and your friends until the flesh falls from your bones.
We managed to repel the Imperial Army, but we remain divided on our next course of action. I anticipate a second and third wave of attack. With our current forces, we'll have our hands full just defending.
It's a miracle we managed to repel the Imperial Army with the few units and resources we do have.
We should probably contact Rodrigue right away to request backup.
Rodrigue is in a difficult position, as he has suffered invasions by the Dukedom. But there are troops who share in our cause, gathering in the heart of Fraldarius territory. If we can arrange for them to join us, our forces will grow considerably.
Fraldarius. So, Rodrigue is still alive, is he? So you did.
I wonder what my old man will say when he sees you now. That spectacle alone will be worth the trip.
I've already sent word with our fastest messenger, informing Rodrigue that His Highness is alive. But we would do well to send another, in case anything happens to the first. With the current state of things, we'll be completely helpless without his support. Your Highness, may I ask what your next plan of attack is? Should we dispatch our troops to the Kingdom capital, or to the Imperial capital?
We will take the Imperial capital. There, I will kill her. We end the war and chase away the lingering regrets of the dead. Nothing could be more to the point.
That may be true, but don't forget that your people need our help right now.
Your Highness, I hate them too. But the citizens of Fhirdiad have long awaited your return.
Just give it up already. Wasting time thinking about stuff like that will only dull your blade.
Defeating Edelgard would put an end to the war. That would benefit the kingdom as well.
We still need to look for Lady Rhea. So I agree that we should get to Enbar as fast as possible.
Professor, whatever you decide, we shall follow.
Yes, it is the only way.
Either way, we are in need of numbers. It is essential that we secure backup.
Part 2. Azure Moon. Pegasus Moon. Valley of Torment. Having repelled the Imperial Vanguard, the kingdom must now supplement its meager forces. And so it requests reinforcements from Rodrigue, who is busy resisting Cornelia's army in Fraldarius territory.
You made it.
We received a reply from my father. You should read it too.
Gilbert has filled me in on the details. He tells me you are in immediate need of additional troops. I would like to say that I will gather reinforcements and send them to the monastery at once. However, I cannot afford to leave the front lines for that long. Would you be willing to meet us south of Fraldarius territory in Aelel, the Valley of Torment? Aelel is halfway between the monastery and our territory. There, I will deliver the soldiers you require.
Aelel lies on the border between Kingdom territory and Alliance territory. Humans dare not approach that place.
He's right. In Aelel, we can meet up with them without our enemy ever finding out.
Once my old man delivers his soldiers to us, then our war against the Empire can finally begin.
The path ahead will be a difficult one, Your Highness. Deadly, in all likelihood.
True. But what's the point in wavering now? Father, stepmother, Glenn, and even Dedue. I am certain this will bring them great joy. I know if I can just offer them Edelgard's head. I just know it.
Aelel, the Valley of Torment.
Oh, wow, thanks.
Thank you.
Is something troubling you, Ingrid?
Oh, Sedith. You seem to have caught me when I thought nobody was around.
Perhaps I can help, if you would like to share.
I wouldn't want to bother you with my trivialities.
I will not pry, of course. But if you keep it to yourself, no one will be able to help you.
That's true. It's regarding my father.
Count Galatea. I have met him once or twice.
Well, you have likely heard that House Galatea's financial situation is precarious. Many regions of Fargus are harsh and infertile, but our lands are especially so. There were several years of fruitless harvests. It nearly ruined us. We could barely feed our troops. Then I was born bearing a crest, after generations bore none. Suddenly my family hung its future on me. My father had hopes that with my crest, I'd be married into a noble family, and that House Galatea's financial troubles would be a thing of the past.
Ah, I see. And the other house would benefit from the addition of your crest-bearing blood. It seems to me you have suffered much for the misfortune of being born with a crest.
I beg your pardon?
I know crests are highly valued, but they are also a burden. My feelings are mixed.
You truly think so? But you're so devoted to the goddess. I'm surprised to hear you say such a thing.
Perhaps one day I will expound upon my opinion of crests in greater detail with you. For now, let it suffice to say that whether or not you bear one is secondary to your identity. You are a person, first and foremost. And you should be permitted to grow as a person, crest or not.
I agree. Thank you for listening.
If you ever wish to discuss this again, consider me available whenever you please.
Thank you so much.
Flame! There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you.
You worry too much, brother.
I think a kidnapping is good cause for concern. I was so worried about you I nearly fainted.
Had that not happened, I would have never been allowed to join the professor's class. Even from something so dire, some good did come of it.
That is a dangerous attitude. This world is full of peril. You must be more vigilant. Please understand, I allowed you to enroll here only because I thought it best for your safety.
I am very much aware of that. You wanted to speak to me of something?
Yes, my dear little sister. You are kind beyond all measure, and you are the very picture of innocence. But precisely because of these very fine qualities, I worry about your interactions with the others here. The youths of our army are particularly eccentric. As your brother, it is my duty to help you with any concerns you may have.
I do appreciate the offer, but all the students and professors have treated me exceptionally well.
Even so, there must be at least some worry. Please, you need not conceal anything from me.
You worry far too much. There is truly nothing to share, and nothing for you to fret over.
Are you absolutely sure? The idea of you suffering in silence is unbearable to me.
Enough! I made it clear that nothing is wrong. I stand by my word. Well, there is one concern that comes to mind.
What is it? Tell me. I will help however I can.
There is a certain somebody who seems determined to get in the way of my friendships with my classmates.
What? That's horrible! Fear not. I will handle this scoundrel for you. Just tell me his name.
It is you, brother. Now then, I must be on my way.
What was Flame getting at just now? Let's see, I was speaking to her. I asked her to share her concerns, and... was there something else? No matter. Fear not, Flame. Your brother will protect you from all harm.
Why did you bring me here? It's so isolated.
That would be the point.
Yikes. See you around, B.
Hang on a second. Out here, in a place like this, you should be free to sigh, yeah?
What do you mean by that?
I just thought it would do you well to cut loose and sigh to your heart's content.
Really? You found a nice quiet place where you could annoy me without putting bystanders at risk?
Why does this always happen? That's not what I meant. This is me doing something nice for you. You said before that you can't ever relax because you're worried about endangering others. A lot's been going on recently, so let her rip already. Sigh until you can sigh no more.
That's nice of you. A chance to relax and sigh as I please. Sounds good. But what do we do about the monsters?
What do you think? A monster shows up, I punch it in the nose. Done deal.
By yourself?
I'm never alone, pal. These two fists are always by my side, and they never let me down.
Oh, right.
It doesn't have to be here if you have performance anxiety, but anytime you accidentally call a monster, just holler and I'll punch it to next Tuesday. In fact, maybe it's best if you just stick by my side from now on. Do that and you're free to sigh whenever the urge strikes.
Why would I have to stay by your side?
Not a lot of people in this world can knock out a beast without breaking a sweat. I'm one of them. And since I'm always on the run from bounty hunters, I'm an exceptionally light sleeper.
You expect me to sleep by your side too?
Ooh, this may be my best idea yet. If I'm always with a monster summoner, fewer people will come after my bounty. This is brilliant.
You never change, B. You're so predictable. All right, have fun.
Have fun? That's an odd thing to do. Monsters, they're everywhere. This is gonna be a blast.
It's hard not to like that dummy.
Delicious, is it not? There is little that can rival the taste of a freshly caught fish grilled to perfection over an open flame. I prefer mine with a pinch of salt.
Look at you, eating regular food like the rest of us regular folk.
It's only temporary. A fish from the river is a coin saved at the marketplace. My project will require every bit of gold I can spare.
Plus, there's a war going on. We've all got to save money however we can.
Constance, what is that shabby meal you're eating with such lowly company?
I suppose after all that's happened, she's given up on regaining her noble title. Probably for the best.
How dare you!
Would you two mind your own business? We're just trying to eat in peace.
Did you hear that? It sounds like a stray cat is screeching at us.
Oh dear, she's not using any silverware to speak of. She's just eating with her paws.
I'd expect that from a commoner, but Constance seems to be doing the same thing. How humiliating.
Oh, we're so vicious. Beating up on poor, pathetic Constance after all of her setbacks. What are you laughing at?
Pardon my outburst, but I couldn't help myself after your ridiculous conversation. How I eat my fish has nothing to do with my status. In fact, I shall vow one thing now. When House Nouvelle is restored, I shall bite into a whole fish thrice weekly.
Pardon?
Moreover, Happy is a dear friend. I won't permit you to call her a stray cat or anything so insulting. We shall continue to remain steadfast friends, even after my title is restored.
And how soon do you expect that to happen?
We both know that if she carries on with such disgraceful behavior, she won't restore her house anytime soon.
Well, for the upper class, those two seemed rather classless.
What just happened?
Oh, I knew them of old. They were Callow noblewomen from the School of Sorcery.
No, I mean, you said that I'm a dear friend. Did you really mean that?
Oh, one says all sorts of things when one feels like being cruel. But yes, I really meant that. Even when I am a noble once more, I expect you to keep me company well into my dotage.
Of course, Coco. Won't be easy getting rid of me.
So Happy, are you going back home or what?
That came out of nowhere. Haven't you noticed there's a war going on? I can't leave now.
Hadn't noticed. Nope. Now that I have, will you head home once it's over? To check on your parents?
No. Even after the war, I can't return. With my curse, I might destroy the whole village. I won't put them at risk like that.
True. I want to say you could go there and everything would be dandy. The way things tend to shake out, though, it can be pretty hard not to sigh.
What about you? You don't mind spending all this time away from wherever you call home?
Can't say I've spent much time thinking about it. Maybe after the war's over. I've got plenty to keep me occupied. If I drop things and head home, my people will lose respect for me. I can't have that.
I see. I know I should visit home at some point. It's been more than a decade since I left, though. They probably think I died.
They might. All the more reason for you to go back. I know you're scared. But if you keep your visit brief, it'll work out fine. I don't know about yours, but my mother would want to know that I'm okay.
I suppose I could stop by for a short visit. That might be nice.
Still worried? I can accompany you. I'm sure you'll find some use for me.
Huh?
You know you'll be so caught up in my lively conversations, you'll have very little time for sighing.
That plan could backfire. I might find the conversation boring, and then...
That would never happen. I wouldn't allow for it. And on the off chance a beast does appear, well, that'll clear up your boredom pretty quickly, won't it?
You've got a weird sense of humor, Yuri Bird. I like that. I guess I wouldn't feel so nervous about going home if you went with me. I might even have a good time. When you're there, you feel closer to the stars. They look so clear and bright. I'd love to show you.
I look forward to it. I bet we'll even see some of the stars you taught me about.
And maybe I'll finally lay eyes on that constellation you told me about. A fishing rod, was it?
Can you help me?
Yes.
Nice job.
There's unrest. I hope. Hey, how about a favor? Hey, how about a favor? Appreciate it. Welcome. Come back soon. If we can take back the kingdom, we'll recover our soldiers. And some food and supplies too, I bet. Most importantly of all, there are people in the kingdom waiting for our help. Even His Highness understands that, I'm sure of it. Yet, he wants to take on the Empire despite all that. Do you think he just doesn't care about anything other than fighting Edelgard anymore? But if not, then...
Hey!
I like seeing a table full of my favorite dishes.
The flavor is nostalgic to me for some reason.
Constance, am I mistaken, or were you somewhat averse to vegetables in the past?
Mercedes, shush! Keep these embarrassments to yourself while there are others present.
This is all a bit troubling, isn't it? The people from the kingdom seem to be of two minds as well. Can we really plan to fight when we're this unsure of ourselves? Well, Professor, I hope you can bring everyone together. You might be the only person who can.
kingdom capital or the imperial capital. I don't know which is the right way. If we tried to take on the Empire like this, would we really stand a chance? With House Fraldarius under attack, they probably can't spare many soldiers. On the other hand, if we did manage to take the imperial capital, the war would be over. I'm no good at thinking through this kind of complicated stuff.
Huh?
I'm steeling myself to see my father again. I can't stand that old man. Yes, I do. Above all, I hate the crazed nonsense that comes out of his mouth.
This experience is critical.
I concur. Meeting reinforcements in the Valley of Torment seems an astute decision to me. In that land of oppressive heat, it is unlikely that we will be disturbed. It also means we will need to contend with those harsh conditions ourselves, however. Best ensure we are well prepared.
Speaking of which, these past 5 years, Lord Rodrigue worried for His Highness more than any other. But I wonder what he would say if he saw what has become of Dimitri.
I'm getting the hang of this.
Well... It has been only 5 years, yet so much has changed. Half of the kingdom has fallen to the Empire. Skirmishes are rife throughout the Alliance. Despite such tumult, we look upon the same sky, unchanged by the storm happening beneath it. Yes, it would be nice, I suppose. Things were simpler then. Or so they seemed to be at the time.
This is no good. Sing from your diaphragm. Look.
I'll keep my voice down. Oh, hello, Professor. How nice to see you. You caught me off guard. I was actually just thinking about you. Just a moment ago? Well, I am afraid I just do not understand you. When we first met, I sensed something different about you. Something mysterious. And now I am convinced your existence itself is very special. Thinking on it, I know it to be true. You have a crest that should have been lost long ago. You wield the sword of the Creator as if it is nothing. Your hair and eye color changed on that day 5 years ago, to the same sort of color as mine and my brother's. I do not know. My brother refuses to speak to me of it. Since then, you have led us into battle, and thus far, we have always come out victorious. Your comrades and colleagues adore you. They believe in you, in your strength. I doubt there is a single soul who is likened to you. Who are you, really? I simply do not understand. Whatever the case may be, having hair like mine is proof that there is something exceptional about you.
I may as well come forward with things. I too am unlike others. Surely you recall when I was targeted, specifically for my blood? I may not be special in the ways you are, but my blood is rare. It seems the two of us share a special differentness. I also believe that we are bound together in some way. Of this I am certain. Therefore, I intend to stay by your side and watch over you. Your existence must be preserved at all cost. Certainly those are the words of a hero. Let us unite our powers. Together, we are unstoppable. Yes, very good. Yes, very good. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your time. All that work was worth it. Yes, that's it. I'll get the next one too. I learned a lot.
That was challenging. How best to use this skill? That was challenging. Looks like I did it. Ah, no big deal. I appreciate your guide.
That was enlightening. Naturally. Did you expect an... Let's not exaggerate. That was enlightening. That was helpful.
I could do as much in my sleep. My efforts bear fruit at last. There is room to enrich myself further. I could do as much in my sleep. All thanks to your help.
I've got a question. Ah, that makes sense.
Professor.
have a moment, Professor? I need to speak with you. Thank you so much. This is what I wanted to address. This letter from my adoptive father just arrived. Oh, have I not mentioned him? He's the reason I first came to the Officers' Academy. He's also the one who dragged me from the church where I was living, just so he could use my crest. My crest does not yet belong to a house, so he plans to use it as leverage to marry into the nobility. He's a very greedy man who was a roving merchant before adopting me, but now he's in the capital. This letter says that he's finally arranged to marry me off to a wealthy noble. I know he's just thinking of himself, but can't he see that this isn't a priority when we're at war? I don't know what to do about this proposal. I can't see any way around it, so I fear that I must. I just don't want to let go of the life that I've made for myself. I know it's not what my heart wants, but I don't have the strength to say no. I believe I've mentioned this before, but I want to work in service of the church. Well, I suppose it doesn't necessarily have to be the church, but I want to help those in need. If I were to marry a noble, I think it would be difficult to realize that dream. It's just, I've always allowed myself to follow the whims of those above me. I convinced myself that everything in life was at the will of the goddess. I was blind to reality. I believed it was her will to both pull me from the church and guide me to the Officers' Academy. The decision to enter this war was the first time I acted of my own free will. My adoptive father opposed this decision, but I somehow managed to convince him. Still, I couldn't free myself of him completely. This letter is proof of that. It's not that I'm scared of him, but there is something that worries me. I knew you'd understand, Professor. I've sat down to write a reply several times, but I can't muster up the courage or the words. I was hoping you could provide me with the encouragement I need. That's a very good point. We're only given one life, so we must do all we can to pursue our happiness. Okay. I think that may have been just the push I was looking for. I'll tell him the truth, that I found a life worth pursuing, and I must decline the proposal. Maybe I should tell him I've fallen for someone else. Why, it's you, Professor. Isn't that obvious? I'm just teasing. Now I'm off to write this letter and stand my ground. Thank you for your encouragement.
Professor, a moment? I am sorry that I doubted your ability. I deeply regret ever holding such a view of you. It is obvious to me now that you are extraordinary. Do you doubt your own power, even now? I suppose that's only natural. You've lived your whole life knowing next to nothing about yourself. Not even Geralt could have possibly known all there is to know about you. But I wonder, are you satisfied with that? Are you content, not knowing who you are? Or do you yearn to know more? That was a foolish question, of course. You are not the sort to be complacent. So, only one more question matters. Are you ready? The truth. All of it. Learning it will doubtlessly have direct consequences on your life. I do not know what those will be. You may decide, once you learn it, that you wish you hadn't. But even if you have such regrets, you will never be able to return to ignorance. So, are you ready to know the truth? I see. That is what I wish to hear. Since the Archbishop put so much faith in you, I will continue to offer my aid. More than that, I will put my faith in you as well, and I will do all that is within my power to help you someday reach the truth.
I'll help out for a bit, and then I'll get to work on writing the report.
Back it up, pal. There won't be any slacking off unless we both get in on the action.
I was doing it for you, Balthus. Unless you want to sit at a desk and do some writing. You're not bad, you know that, Balthus?
Glad to hear.
I'm looking sharp, huh?
Looks like I'm getting it.
Yeah, I understand now. I'm looking sharp, huh?